What's the best way to find a business idea? Now, this shouldn't be the biggest question on people's minds, but it's actually the number one barrier to starting a business. See, you can go to Google right now and search for business ideas, and there's thousands and thousands of ideas. They say dog walking and magazine writer. But what do you really do with that? What do you do with a list of ideas? There has to be a way to actually implement that and apply it. So I want to walk through some of the questions that we ask ourselves when we're thinking about getting into a new business. And then I also have a checklist at the end of this video if you're interested. The first thing I want to tell you is don't expect this to be perfect. All right, I get friends who come to me, they say, Ramit, I want to start a business. What's an idea I should start with? And they expect to go from zero to the perfect idea overnight. Wrong. I want to give you permission to suck. Your ideas will suck when you start. That's okay. My ideas sucked when I started. Sometimes they still suck. We come up with ideas, we go spend months, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on them, and they fail. So we want to acknowledge that some of our ideas are going to suck at the beginning. That's fine. Now, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, what is something that I already pay for? I ask you to think about this because a lot of us can't even fathom that someone might pay us. But when you think about it, we pay other people. Maybe you pay someone to clean your apartment. Maybe you pay someone to change the oil in your car. Maybe you pay a personal trainer or someone to make your sushi. There's a lot of different things we pay for that we could technically do ourselves. So take a second right now and think about 3 to 5 things that you pay for. Okay, now that you've thought about those things, do you see how it's possible other people might want to pay you? You know it is because you're already paying other people. So now we want to get into what might they pay you for. Question number 2, what are the skills that you have? They could be cooking, they could be speaking Spanish, they could be a whiz at Excel. Those are all skills, things that you have that someone else might pay for. Just think about it. I pay a personal chef. I could learn how to cook, but I don't want to. So I pay a personal chef. If I wanted to learn Spanish, I could buy a $10 book or I could pay a tutor. Okay? Same thing for Excel. We have people on staff who are master analysts. So if you happen to be really good at that, I want you to write those skills down. Now, I guarantee you have skills that you don't even think are valuable. The way to come up with those is to take question number 3. What are the things that people tell you you're really good at? So sometimes you might just be sitting there saying like, I don't really have any skills. And I can tell you right now, that's not true. Go ask your friends, just ask them this question. Seems kind of weird, but just ask them anyway. Hey, what are 3 things you think I'm kind of good at? I know it's weird, but I'm trying to do this business thing and I'm just trying to get some ideas. They're going to tell you something like, well, you always give amazing relationship advice. Wow, your apartment is always so organized. And wow, you just seem to know how to put the perfect outfit together. Do you realize that you could turn all 3 of those things into business ideas? So you come up with your list of skills. If you can't find that list of skills on your own, go ask your friends. Trust me, there are things you're really good at you might not even recognize. One of my buddies, Ben Kazanoka, he gave me this little tidbit. He said, when you're trying to find a business idea, think about the kind of things you do on a Saturday morning before everyone else is awake. What are you reading? Reading fashion magazines, fitness books? What is it that you're doing before everybody else wakes up? And that can kind of lead you in the right direction. Now I want to go one step further. A lot of people will just leave you there and say, make a list. I want you to make that list. I want you to silence your inner critic and just write down as many ideas as you can, because at this stage, nothing is bad. But I want to take it one step further. In our courses, we always test for profitability. And what that means is we don't just take a random idea and say, this sounds good, and spend $10,000 developing this course and then find out nobody wants it. Instead, we do a little bit of testing ahead of time so we can virtually guarantee it will be successful. And for that, I want to introduce you to a concept we have called the demand matrix. Now, the demand matrix is going to help you test an idea for profitability and for demand. It's a basic, simple, back-of-the-napkin way that you can find out if an idea ever has a chance of being profitable. And I'm going to put it up here on the screen. It's very simple. It shows you a mental model of how much demand there is for your idea. Now take a look. On this matrix, you can see that there's more customers, fewer customers, low price, high price. Now, obviously the dream is to get something where it's high price and many customers. That's the dream. Well, I want to help you break this down because you can take each of your ideas and put it into this demand matrix. Now, let's just go through a couple examples so you see what I mean. Now, let's first start from the top left and work our way clockwise. High end means high price and few customers. What kind of companies can you think of that are high end and have a relatively small number of customers? Let's think about Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Prada. These are amazing companies, super high end, and the vast majority of people will never buy their products. Great, that's a high-end company, a high-end product. Now let's move to the next one. We call this golden goose because the price is still relatively high, but the number of customers is massive. What kind of companies can you think of here? Think about iPhone for Apple. Think even about P90X, which is an amazing fitness product, relatively high priced, and millions of customers. That is a sweet spot if you can get it. Next, let's take a look at mass market. Now here the price is low, but the amount of customers is massive. What kind of company can you think of that has a low price but tons and tons of customers? Of course, McDonald's, Starbucks. Perfect examples, right? And then finally, danger. Be careful if you're in this quadrant. We call it the labor of love because you may love it, but it's not a profitable business. I'll give you an example from my own life. I have a simple dream in this world, and that is to teach random white people how to eat habanero salsa. Nobody listens. I dream about it every day. Please wake up and crave my habanero salsa. They never want it. So while I think they should have it, nobody wants it. That's low price because I can't charge that much for it, and few customers, aka zero, because there's zero demand for it. You see why we call this the demand matrix? You want to know where the demand is, both in terms of price and customers. Don't create a labor of love. That is a huge problem when it comes to online business. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how this plays out with our own products. Let me give you an example. We have a very high-end product called Six-Figure Consulting System. This is for people who already have extremely successful businesses. Very small number of customers, and the price is quite high. That is a high-end product. Next, we have a product called Find Your Dream Job. Now, this is a golden goose. It's relatively high-priced, and a lot of people want to know how to find their dream job using our system. That's a sweet spot to be in if you can get it. Next, mass market. Any idea which of the I Will Teach You to Be Rich products falls under mass market? Yeah, that's right, the book. I wrote a book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. It was a New York Times best-selling book. It's about $10 on Amazon, and tons and tons of people have purchased it. Okay? The price is low, but the reach is big. And finally, labor of love. Beyond my dream of a habanero product, we actually did create a product on health insurance. And we thought everybody wants to know about health insurance. They complain about it. And we actually spent over $50,000 creating this product. And guess what? Nobody really wanted it. Turns out what we thought people wanted was not what they actually wanted to pay for. The demand matrix helps you plan some of this stuff out proactively so you don't make the same $50,000 mistake that I made. Now, the biggest question when it comes to the demand matrix is, how do I know where these things go? How do I know which quadrant it falls in? And my answer to you is, don't worry about this being definitively right. It's a back of the napkin exercise that helps you understand where your product falls. Okay? So there's no right or wrong answer, but you can find out generally pretty accurately where this product might live in the demand matrix. For example, if you're creating a stupid habanero salsa product, that's a labor of love. We kind of all get that. If you're creating a fitness product, that could be a golden goose. It also could be super high end. For example, if you're doing luxury coaching for athletes, or it could be mass market, like a book. That's up to you, and we can show you how to choose among those. But the big thing I want you to know is avoid the labor of love and focus on one of the other 3 quadrants. If you're not sure where your ideas fall on the demand matrix, don't worry about it. This is an estimation game. Right now, there are no wrong answers. You just use your best judgment. Okay, what you just saw was how to use the demand matrix to test an idea for profitability and to make sure that it's actually viable. Now, if you want to find out how to refine your business idea and really find out if it can be profitable, we've put together a checklist for you. Just enter your email address below and we will send it to you so we can walk through it step by step.